Is that honorable?
It's me.
Oh, Chairperson, thank you very much. I would like to start, and I do my questions as...
Chief, can we just have certain answers? Because, you know, this is very pertinent questions.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Let us go with the rest of the remaining members. You have asked almost and very, very important questions, almost 15 questions. These are on record, and I would like members to hold on to their recommendations and their questions so that we can discuss it at the end of this meeting. Honorable Jacobs.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, you know, we do it interpellation style here, and if I'm satisfied with the answer that I receive, I will stop it, and then we can carry on. Chairperson, through you, I'd like to ask Mr. Jordan, do you believe in the concept of democracy? Can you please put your microphone on when you respond?
I'm a product of a struggle for democracy.
You have respect for the concept of democracy.
You're asking me a question that is self-evident.
Okay. Do you understand the importance of term limits?
I understand it. I was
Term
sitting here
limits.
as a member of parliament.
Do you understand the importance of term limits?
Yes.
Okay. Are you aware that you are one of the longest serving presidents of any football association on the planet? I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done. You are one of the longest serving on the planet.
It's not
12
true.
years almost.
It's not true.
Can you let me finish? I'm still busy with my interrogation here. And that there,
Honorable Chairperson.
They must ask the questions
Just
and
order.
answer. Now he is engaging me now.
Point of order, Chairperson.
Let me make the following ruling. If honorable members ask a question, give SAFA an opportunity to respond. If SAFA respond, then we may ask the question. You may proceed.
thank you, Chairperson.
Just a point of order, Chairperson.
Honorable Daniels.
Can we please, what I've witnessed here, it's not right. I witnessed my colleague, the Honorable Member Jacobs, talking to Dr. Jordan and pointing his finger at him. That is very condescending. It is absolutely rude for a child, to have that type of conduct to
a child.
To someone.
I'm a member of this house. You will not address me as a child.
And this is not how we must have. We must keep a decorum here when we talk to those people coming here. Thank you.
Honorable members, let's keep the decorum. I haven't seen the finger. If there was a finger pointed at Dr. Jordan, I would like Honorable Liam Jacobs to apologize for that.
I apologize for that.
And I would like the Honorable Daniels also withdraw and address his colleagues as honorable members and not a child in this meeting.
Honorable Chairperson, because of my upbringing, I'm terribly sorry. I forgot I'm not at home where I deal with my children like that. So I withdraw, Chairperson.
Honorable Liam Jacobs, proceed.
Arietsi. Anyways, Chairperson, I would like to ask, Mr. Jordan, do you consider yourself a responsible leader?
Right.
Can he please switch his microphone on, Chair?
Chair, can I just understand? You said now, when we had the list of questions, that we'll have all the questions and then we'll answer. Is this now a deviation from that order that you sent?
I agree, but I think the interpellation may be led to what the member has read. But maybe I have to appeal to the member to ask a direct question pertaining to the content and the submission that has been made. Honorable Khabo.
Chairperson, thank you very much. For progress' sake, I think it's only fair that you also take the SAFA delegation into confidence in relation to how we conduct our engagements, whereby a member is either having liberty to submit questions in writing or ask all of those questions and allow the delegation to respond. And there is also an option for you to have a one-on-one interaction. Where I'll be asking you a direct question, I'll be expecting a response. So, President, you must not interpret it as an ambush. Probably the chair forgot to take you into confidence as to that's how we conduct our engagements. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Khabo. Honorable
Chair.
So, President, you must not interpret it as an ambush. Probably the chair forgot to take you into confidence as to that's how we conduct our engagements. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Kabut. Honorable.
And we never speak already.
Yes.
Can you give us 3 minutes? Because we are going.
Honorable Jacobs, proceed.
I've asked the question, does he consider himself to be a responsible leader?
Next question.
This is not next question, I'm holding you accountable. Do you consider yourself to be a responsible leader?
Did you look at my areas of responsibility? I was sitting where you are sitting.
I'm asking you, do you, it's a yes or no question.
I was sitting where you were sitting, and yes, I was a member of this parliament.
I'm asking, do you consider yourself to be a responsible leader?
The response was yes, Honorable Jacob.
Thank you very much. It's implied. In my hands, as I sit here, I have got something that I know you don't think that I have. But this here lists your full travel expenses up until about January 2024. On these travel expenses, you list an amount of 131,000 Rand to go to Ivory Coast and London from the 11th of January to the 14th of February. Then, second, you've been to Qatar twice on flights that could be no more than 15,000 Rand. That costs altogether 56,000 Rand and 31,000 Rand. This is obviously including accommodation as well. Then thirdly, I have you traveling to Vietnam for the Oceania Congress, which took place on 29 September to 3rd October 2023. What are we as South Africans doing in Vietnam at the Oceania Congress of an organization that only has 13 members, of which are thousands of kilometers away? Then, number 4, you've traveled to Cameroon for the African Cup of Nations at 105,574 Rand, when a ticket to Yaoundé can cost no more than 14,000 Rand max. Then, you've also traveled to Morocco for 82,833 Rand, when that flight could cost no more than 20,000 Rand max. So that is why I ask if you are responsible, because we've heard the financial standing of your organization. And when we hear the financial standing of your organization, don't feel attacked. When we hear the financial standing of your organization, it becomes apparent that there's a lack of responsibility. There's a lack of accountability. Because who is actually holding you to account, sir? Who is holding you to account?
No, can I answer?
I'm asking who is holding you to account.
No, but I must explain to you.
Give Dr. Jordan an opportunity to explain.
I had no business to go to Vietnam. You may know, or you may not know, that South Africa made a bid for hosting of the Women's World Cup. The CEO was with me. Tumi Dlamini was with me. Do you have their costs there? Do you have their flight ticket there? This is a campaign. It's a campaign, and you are part of it now. So we were in Vietnam. We made a presentation. We were lobbying to get the votes to host the Women's World Cup. Qatar, obviously, was a World Cup. And the World Cup is a 30-day period event. You can't pick major events that I've attended and put the costs. I don't travel to a World Cup every year or every day. World Cup is once every 4 years. And therefore the costs, not just for me, for everyone else. Do you have other members who also were at the World Cup?
I'm asking you, you're not the one that asks me in this
you
meeting.
see, the fact that 10 people travel to the World Cup, you take one and say, this is it. I'd like to travel on your planes and pay 20,000 to go wherever. It's not
Chairperson,
real.
if I may.
It's not real.
If I may, Chairperson, if you are admitting to the fact that even more win, this balloons the cost at large, and there's a reason that I'm bringing this up. The reason I'm bringing this up is a matter of accountability. In my hands over here, I also have the fact that you consistently postpone meetings, that your organization is consistently postponing meetings. You've had your meeting on the 25th of Jan, and you are yet to have another meeting. That then got postponed March, that then got postponed again Now, as we sit here, to the one from March was supposed to happen at the end of February.
Travel to major events. And by the way, I'm going to the World Cup again. And in the United States. And I don't think it's going to be 20,000 to go to the United States.
Chairperson, I am satisfied with the answer. As I have my own time, I'm very much satisfied with the answer. And I find it interesting that we are going to Qatar in 2022 when we don't even qualify. Chairperson, I'd like to move on to the CFO.
But President, Chair.
Chairperson, I'd like to move on to the CFO.
Just give me, an opportunity. Let's give the
I am not
doctor the
Bafana
opportunity.
Bafana. I am an official. And when I go to the World Cup, I go and account to FIFA. I go and account. As a former member who delivered the World Cup. And when there's other World Cups, I get invited and I go and explain matters there. So it's not that the team must go, then I go. That's not the case. I'm a delegate, and I go regardless of whether the team qualifies or not.
Chairperson, I find it interesting.
Honorable Jacobs, I think proceed with your next question to the CFO.
I find it interesting that we are using SAFA funds to attend FIFA events in that particular respect, but I'll continue to the CFO.
I
CFO.
represent SAFA. I'm a delegate of SAFA at FIFA.
CFO.
Don't you understand that?
CFO. I'll come back to you, Mr. Jordan. CFO. Do you contend that SAFA is in a strong financial position?
No, SAFA is not in a strong financial position.
Can you please put the microphone on?
Oh, it's on. I think in my presentation, I acknowledged that we've got financial challenges, but however, we are addressing those challenges.
Okay, you are addressing those challenges. The reason I ask this is, who's responsible for the financial decline of SAFA?
It's the whole organization. It's the whole organization. It's executive management, it's the NEC, it's the whole organization.
Do you as the leadership accept responsibility for the financial decline of SAFA?
Yes, we do.
You accept responsibility because it is under leadership like this where equity has worsened from 7 million, negative 7 million, to negative 14 million. This is a clear indicator of an organization that is in severe decline. And the reason I list this is because we can look at our current liabilities versus our current assets. And as somebody in the financial field, I'm sure you know what this would mean. Your current liabilities severely outweigh your current assets, meaning your ability to meet your expectations, your financial expectations, is severely hampered by the fact that your financial expectations are more than your ability to account for them. What do you make of that?
Can I respond to you, the chair of?
Yeah, if you can respond.
No, thank you. In response to that, yes, that was a situation. And I think what happened, that's why when I was appointed chair of the Audit and Risk Committee, my first challenge was to say, I think that we not budgeting correctly. That's why a lot of the financial difficulties result because of they haven't taken current performances of the team into consideration. So part of that liabilities that you're speaking about, which exceeds the assets, result from unfunded expenditure relating to the performance of the teams. However, I also said, yes, we have a close to 250,000 rand properties which are unencumbered. And I said, before you even start considering using it as security for loans to take you out of the quagmire that you find yourself. I'd like to see that we have a turnaround strategy so that when we use money prodigiously to ensure that you reverse the situation. So at the moment, yes, I asked them also for a payment a strategy to ensure that we pay the debt not only as expected, but some of them arrangement has been made to defer payments, but to ensure that you can meet all your obligations in terms of that. So yes, first things I asked was...
Thank you for the response. May I just flag, before the honourable member proceed, may I just flag, very interesting response to the strategy. If there can be preparations also be made on the strategy on, the paying back of these monies.
Chairperson, I was actually heading there. If I may, I was actually heading in that direction. I find that, there's of course a massive FIFA loan that was approved in 2022. Are you aware of this, Mr. Jordan?
Yes.
Now that I direct the question to Mr. Jordan, he doesn't want to answer. CFO, are you aware of this?
Honourable Jacobs, let me protect our visitors. If the question goes and the president of SAFA cannot respond, I have indicated that I have indicated, Honourable, that anyone who deems fit may respond to that question, because we might have someone who should with a much valuable answer than the member you are asking. Perhaps if we can go forward in that way. Who wanted to respond to that question?
Yes, we are aware of the FIFA.
You are aware?
Yes, we are.
But I think South Africans need to be made aware of this as well. Right here, you'll find a letter that comes from an advocate by the name of Tebogo Motlanthe, right? Now, this individual writes this letter in 2022, and I asked this, given your financial position, you say you are in a bad financial position. I'm about to mention more debt that is included in this. In this particular letter, it states that you have a repayment period between 2023 and 2025 of this FIFA loan. Have you been able to honor it?
Yes, we have.
It is $250,000 times 2 a year, which is the equivalent of 8.9 million rand that is being drained out of SAFA to repay a loan. And that is why I raise these questions, Chairperson, because you must understand the matters regarding how much is actually given to players versus how much is given to officials, which is why I want to ask, and this is a qualitative question to Mr. Jordan. I'd like to ask, are you happy with the size of your NEC?
The size of the NEC does not depend my happiness or unhappiness.
Do you believe that it is a size that yields the benefits that you'd like to see out of an NEC?
That is something that the NEC or the Congress can debate on.
Because on the 18th of June 2013, FIFA wrote to SAFA, and they wrote that your NEC is bloated, that your NEC is way too big, that your NEC, they've recommended that your NEC should consist of approximately 18 members, and it currently consists of 47. So if that is the case, this gives us an understanding of why you have bloated honoraria costs. You have honoraria costs that sit in 2023 at 2.5 million rand. This is just honoraria, not allowance, Chairperson. 2.5 million in 2023 and 6.1 million in 2024, which works out to 54,976 rand per member in 2023 and 130,000 rand per member in 2024. But had this been 18 members, Chairperson, the honoraria would have been 989,000 approximately in 2023 and 2.3 million rand in 2024. And I want us to take into consideration these numbers, because if you do the math here, Chairperson, you find that this is mathematics that is almost the equivalent of how much the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture had to give to you to bail you out due to your financial circumstances. So what steps are you actually taking against officials who are also responsible for the fact that your finances are not in a good space?
Honourable Jacobs, please wrap up.
I've asked the question, Chairperson. I'll wrap up shortly after.
The letter that you read, I think the letter is dated 2013. Is that?
Yes.
I just want to, it's 2013. We are now in 2025. The first question you must ask, what did SAFA do in terms of that letter. I think that letter was signed by Jerome Bark.
You've got the completely wrong names here, but you can proceed. It's signed by Marco Villager and
Marco Villager
Oliver,
was the head of legal at the time.
and Oliver Jabber.
Yes. That matter was discussed with FIFA. So that thing has no value. That matter was dismissed. You see, there are a number of... FIFA has 211 members. And the way the membership are composed depend on a number of issues. It's not just pick a number, this is a number of... If you look at our statutes, you'll actually see the breakdown of the NEC.
So, Chairperson, in that regard, through you, has FIFA said that you are fine? That the size of your NEC is fine?
That FIFA does not exist anymore, and it was agreed that to leave the matter.
So you disagree with the fact that NEC should be smaller and you'd rather have a bloated NEC as you sit here?
No, I don't agree with that. I don't support or not support it. For me, it's a matter of the members themselves. The statutes was approved by the members. The NEC is here, and the allocation per province is here, and how they come to represent the provinces are also in our statutes.
So,
Honourable
Chairperson,
Jacobs,
as I wrap up, Chairperson,
unfortunately,
I want to read a letter from one of the clubs, and I want to read this in light of the fact that you have financial woes, that you are unable to pay your salaries, that you struggle to do so. I
Honourable
received
Jacobs,
a letter, Chairperson.
unfortunately, your time has expired. I'm, 1 minute over. What I'll suggest, keep those. When we do the recommendations, we can have discussions and decisions on the way
Chairperson, it will
forward.
take me no more than 30 seconds to read this letter.
Your time has expired. Who's the next member?
Long wait. Thank you, Chair. I want to say something. I'm an African. Culture, social cohesion, respecting the elder and the young one. We are not here to harm anybody. We are not here to finish SAFA today. We are here to make SAFA to be more powerful. We are here, we are all brother and sister. We are here to fix it, not to damage it. When the car starts, we have to fix it. We have to understand. Because why you here is because government, we have hands in SAFA. That is why if it was a private, you are not supposed to be here. But here, we fix, we get a problem, we sit down like this and then we fix it. I want to understand Mr. Hluyo. Who's Mr. Hluyo? Engwena about. All right.
Honorable Kobani, go through the chairperson.
Okay, Chair.
You
Mr.
want to
Hluyo,
follow
it's you,
Sas-
Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Yeah. Wanna wait, sir. Okay. I have a question here that Mr. Hluyo, are you out on bail on fraud and mismanagement case involving SAFA Fund to CEO and new NEC? Why did the NEC fail to charge the CFO for his fraud and management of fund case? This practice raises issues of constitution as Ms. Namhla Mpele and others employed have been charged and fired based on allegation and breach of corporate government principles. What nationalities do you possess? What are the other rules on responsibility you possess in the association based being in the CFO? So you are not charged, accounted? Is what I wanted to ask. Is it true, Chair? That's my question.
Please respond, CFO.
Mihlongoli wini, mikhomi wini mbeila, even how come things comes like that? We need that explanation, but it's not harming. We are asking, we are not harming anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, we speak our minds.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
I'm still continuing.
Okay.
Yes, I want to speak, finish, and 10 minutes to me is not work, only 5 minutes, no bonus. Chair, I'll finish now. I'll answer everything, not one by one. That I'm not the pastor, I'm not the prophet to say one and one. SAFA got 54, not 52 regions. It's 54 or 52? 52. You guess. Why are they failing to pay traveling fees to all the teams around South Africa? Why are they also failing to give them soccer kits? How many regions did they give the kids? Minyiki wangani swikipa, swabolo. Why under 17, 20, 23 did they pay Bafana players their outstanding amount since January? Did you pay? Did you make everything from January to up to date? The mandate outstanding is what I wanted to ask. I don't have a more further question, but after this meeting, Chair, we have to handle ourselves by the hands. We make unite, we make social cohesion, we are not enemies. As a MK, we are not enemies of anybody, but we want to understand. That's it. Aye.
Thank you, very helpful. Honorable Khabo.
No, thank you very much, Chairperson. I think I'm going to be very clear in terms of who should respond to my questions. Lina laka ke Kgaolatli Sefane ke Khabo. I'm a member of this portfolio committee on sports, arts and culture. Chairperson, let me go straight to the department. Department, this video assistant referee, was it part of the departmental annual performance plan? Did you?
I'm trying to remember the annual performance plan as it stands now. So what you will find in the annual performance plan will not be projects, because this is a project. So you would not necessarily find something that says anything about VAR as such, but it might. But can I ask Mpiwe just, because he would know the detail behind the sport area?
No, DG, it's fine. So there was no, it was not part of the APPs.
No. Honorable Member, I'm saying in terms of how the APP is written, it wouldn't appear like that, which is why I'm saying the Chief Director would know the detail behind what I'm talking to, because amongst the key performance indicators, it would not appear like that. But it might appear under projects. So I need him to assist, hence I'm asking that.
Through you, Chair. I think just to expand on the DG's response, it would fall under support to sport and recreation bodies.
Thank you very much. Was VAR part of your support programs initially when you adopted, or when the budget for the department was adopted?
Through Chair, my understanding is that we are talking about the financial year 2025-2026.
I think what a member actually straightly asked is, was it a knee-jerk reaction, yes or no? Was it part of the budget?
I'm not sure whether just to call it a niche creation or not, Chair, but it
actually resulted after the game of Kaizer Chiefs and Pirates.
Yes. However, Chair, the implementation thereof is not in the year 2024-2025. So needs are identified every year, and priorities are identified every year, then it will form part of the 25-26 financial year. Thanks.
Before you go forward, the research component...
I hope you have stopped my 10 minutes.
No, I'll stop you. the research component, as well as the legal advisors and whoever, and content advisors, we must have a look at that response and whether the question you ask is true or false, so that we can interpret this and interrogate this further, Honorable Khaba. You may proceed. I am sorry.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I think you know that I know that the response is deliberately tailor-made, but it's a discussion for another day. Department, for the 2023, 2024, and 2024 and 2025 financial year, was there any budget allocation from the department for the VAR implementation?
Through your chair, no.
SAFA, in its presentation, they've indicated that for the VAR program, it is only department that has invested money. So my question is, how did you fund VAR when it was not part of the initial budget? Second to that, given the departmental financial constraints, where did you get that money to invest in VAR when there is no decision to implement VAR in line with the approved budget number 1 and in line with the approved APPs? Where did you get the budget to implement? Because I want to put it to you. I want to put it to you that VAR was never part of the departmental plans, but rather out of excitement of the minister after seeing the cameras in front of him, after the match of Kaizer Chiefs and I think it's Sundowns, he decided to be creative and commit the department. And that's why I initially wanted the minister to be present in this meeting, because some of his public pronouncements contradicts what the department has already planned for. That is my question. And I'll still raise this issue when the minister is present. It's unfortunate that he's not here, and I'm still going to repeat it when he's present. Can you respond to me? How did you fund a project that was not part of your APPs, that was not part of your approved budget? Where did you get the money, and which program was compromised?
It was funded through reprioritization in program 2 under 2 programs or sub-programs, which is the Sport Federation support and missing the big walk, the big walk event.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable DG. My apology for calling you Honorable DG. I would want to withdraw that unconditionally.
No, I think the DJ aspire.
All right. No, probably in the next elections. DG, now that you have said that it was not part of the initial budget and APPS, and you have said that it is through the budget adjustment, there are 2 programs that were compromised, Big Walk and the other one that you have just made mention. That's what you are confirming to this portfolio committee?
No, Honorable Member. What I'm saying, remember we're talking 25-26. We're not talking adjustment as yet, because that will only happen mid-year. So what I'm saying is that as part of the preparation and the prioritization of any identified interventions, the reprioritization was done going into the 25-26, which we are on now. So that budget is there as a result of reprioritization from those 2 sub-programs that I've mentioned. Okay. And remember, Honorable Member, that budget is going in on the 1st of July for approval. That's the budget that's going in, vote 37, which will be presented for approval on the 1st of July.
Thank you very much. Now that it was not part of the APPs and the approved budget, how is it then suddenly being prioritized over other programs, especially that speaks to the grassroots development? Let's make soccer a reference now. A point in case, SAFA's presentation says that they do not have any funds to invest on the grassroots development of soccer as things stands. That's what soccer is saying. Did you get my question? Let me leave you on that one while you are still thinking of it. How much have you invested on VAR in this financial year? Or how much have you funded VAR?
Through you, Chair, at this point, there is no funding that has gone out already or paid on VAR. Noting, Chair, what was presented earlier by SAFA, that they is still at the process of stages of tendering to actually determine the actual cost thereof. So there is no expenditure to date on VAR.
My question is, how much has the department funded the VAR implementation project? Take into consideration that SAFA has said that the only funding that they have currently for the implementation of the project, it's a funding that they have received from Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. So my question is, are they lying when they say that DSEC has funded them with money? Hence my question was, how much have you funded it with?
Not funded. In their presentation, they did indicate that they have initiated the processes to a stage of receiving proposals. So as I was saying, Chair, there is an amount after reprioritization which is set aside for this. And the Chief Director was explaining to a question from another member here that initially it was 80 million and it was a projection. But obviously it is being subjected to a process of seeking proposals and adjudication, which will then determine the actual amount.
Thank you very much. I'll get to that point and revisit. I don't agree with what you are saying based on what SAFA has presented. Ne? Where is the Chief Financial Officer of the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture? Is he present in this meeting? Okay,
No,
fine.
he's not present.
I guess the DG, now that the CFO of the department is absent, you will take responsibility of my question. And my question is directed to you. The Public Finance Management Act clearly stipulates processes that needs to be followed before the department can fund any entity or federation. Amongst others is to assess as to whether the money would be used in line with the proposal made to the department. I would want to check with you, given I'm just not sure. I was trying to check it now, DG, but I'll get it. I know I've got it on the phone. That process where there are certain things that you must first and foremost look into as the department. How did the department provide an advance payment of 5 million, if not mistaken, to SAFA? Which process have they followed? That is number one. Why did the department decide to contradict the process outlined in the PFMA in terms of, first and foremost, before you can give an entity or a federation money, you must look into their finances. And part of the finances must give you an impression that there is proper systems in place to manage those funds. And as things stand, with SAFA is a different story. I would like to check with you, now that the CFO is not here. How did you get to a point of advance payment? Please don't use the excuse that players were not paid or people blah, blah, blah. It's a lame story for me. I'm referring to the process outlined with the PFMA in terms of how do you disburse state funds to an entity?
Through you, Chair, the advance payment, Chair, was made having considered section, I think Honorable Chair is referring to section 38, 1J. Which of the PFMA, which really requires the accounting officer to satisfy himself or herself that the institution to which a transfer is being made would be able to account for it. And so far, we we don't have anything that says SAFA is unable to account for the funds that we actually. Yes, I think CFO has spoken to the financial challenges, but they don't necessarily mean inability to account, and that's really what the PFMA requires of the department to satisfy itself before a transfer is made. Thank you, Chair.
Chairperson, I want to put, I think you must also refer to that section 38 of the PFMA, go down with it. Section 38 of the PFMA says that the accounting officer for a department, trading entity or constitutional institution, A, must ensure that the department, trading entity or constitutional institution has and maintains one, effective, efficient and transparent systems of financial and risk management and internal control. Here you've got an institution or an entity, according to the CFO. If I heard him correctly, and I'll want him to confirm when I get to him, I'll get to him after you. He says that the liabilities of SAFA are more than the assets, which in my understanding of the basics of accounting, it means now we are dealing with an institution or an entity that cannot sustain its core function or responsibilities. Second to that, Chairperson, I would plead, I'm not sure what informs the meeting. You see, Mr. Jordan, I'm respecting you given the fact that you have brought us World Cup in South Africa. But that does not change the fact that you are a former member of parliament. I'm currently the member, so things have changed. So don't abuse my respect to you. Can I go back to you, CFO? Thank you. If the CFO, and it's fine, let me leave that one. I'll submit it in writing, because clearly there is some serious silence as if there is a dead body or a corpse entering the room. When was the CEO of SAFA appointed? CEO, when were you appointed?
I was appointed as COO in 2021 and CEO in 2023.
CFO, when were you appointed as the CFO?
I was appointed as the CFO in 2007.
2007?
That's correct.
Thank you very much. So you've got more than 10 years with SAFA.
That is correct.
Thank you very much. CFO, is there budget allocation for Bafana Bafana and Banyana Banyana competition? Is there budget allocation for Banyana